Rolling Insight, exploring the TTRPG universe.
Hello, and welcome to Rolling Insight, exploring the TTRPG universe. Today, we have a special guest that is an expert in homebrewing, running and playing in creative campaigns. On the virtual world, they have 15 characters out that you can view intricate lore on, patrons, and 6 storylines. Allow me to introduce you to the one, the only, Chaos in Progress. Why are you making that face? Oh no! Are you frozen? Oh no! What do I do? Hello? Are you there?
Oh my god! Hi! Am I frozen?
You were? Could you hear me panicking?
Oh my god, I can hear you panicking. Okay, yes. Hi. No. I'm like, I have 15 characters?
You do! You have 15! On TikTok! Did you not know that?
I did not know that. Okay, wow, I need to... How do I not know my own stats? Hi everyone, nice to meet you.
I have you so zoomed in and there's no way to fix it. I tried!
Yeah, wait, no, we're zooming back. We're standing back.
No, stay! It's a great thing! It's great, it's
you
fine!
You want to talk about homebrew, guys?
You wanna...
Like, would you like some homebrew?
I got some homebrew for you right here. Oh, do you like my sparkly water bottle?
Okay, now I'm just jealous. This is rude. I lost my water bottle. I don't have sparkles.
Sparkle.
I currently have a candle and a ping pong ball on my table. That's all I got.
I have, you know what? Okay, I'll show you what I got. I got this Bulbasaur. I got these dice.
I'm done. You're winning.
I got
I'm out.
I got the Clow cards. I got my Nintendo Switch. I broke this, but I have it on my desk. I have a magnifying glass. I have tinfoil. I have a scarf. What else do I have? And a candle. It's for the holidays.
That's currently on fire. Okay, cool. Okay.
This is who you've chosen to be friends.
Oh dear. Yes, this is our life. Oh, we carry on. With our tinfoil desk.
Listen, you leave my tinfoil desk alone, okay? Leave it alone. What else do I have? Ooh, I want to show you this. Okay. This is a bracelet for a cleric. And so it has shields and dice. You see a little dice? And this thing, I don't know what that is, but it's pretty neat. And it has a little fist with a heart in it. You see it?
That's so pretty.
It's very pretty. Unfortunately.
I'm gonna keep moving side to side to make it look like I'm not frozen. So we can figure out when eventually I do freeze again.
Sunglasses. Ooh, can I show you something? Let me show you something. This is how I keep track of where I am in combat. I have a whiteboard. So like when I have something that I have to keep track of how long.
This test is turning into a Mary Poppins bag. It's just like, whiteboard!
We also have some yarn down here, but I won't get that. Anyway. But, welcome to Rolling Insight, exploring the TTRPG universe. Hi, friend!
Hi, friend!
So we like to start with an icebreaker, and because I lead by example, so you feel comfortable with answering questions and asking me questions. So feel free, ask me a question.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah.
I did draft this up because this is who I am as a person. So, brynniursa, you are given a sword that has one special property. What is it?
Oh. One special property? Like, define special property for me.
It's magical in one way.
It's magical in one way?
Yeah.
I want a sword that would tear through dimensions. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
So like for like combat, like am I thinking combat? So I could have a sword, right? I could have a sword, and it can slice through, and so I can go to where I need to go. But also, if I have an enemy, I can just cut them in half, and then half of them would be banished to somewhere else, so there's less of a chance of revivify, because you can't get all the body parts. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I respect that.
Well, what sword would you want? You seem disappointed by my answer.
No, I like that. I'm just like, oh, wonder what Bryn would have. I wanted a dimension sword. I'm like, okay, that's what's happening. Now, I would have. It'd just be like a regular sword, but it'd be like anything that I stab, the sword turns into a joystick that I can control it.
Yes.
So like I stab it into a boulder, and I'm like, you know what? Now now I can just use it as a gear shift.
Yes. Yes, I love this. It can control. Oh, I want it. I want all these. Yes. This is what I need. And this is why you are here, Tim. Because you are very creative. So how, Tim? How did all of this get started? How did you get involved with TTRPGs? That's how I can say it without stuttering. Okay.
No, fair. We're gonna say it like that from now on. But yeah, now I started it back in 2018. A friend of mine introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons initially. Ironically, when he first introduced it to me, I'm like, nah, that seems boring. I'm not interested in it. If anyone has seen my TikTok profile, you know that died quickly. And when I sat down, I really enjoyed like the stories we made, the laughs we had at the tables, and just the kind of the creativity that allowed me to have. It was just kind of fun. It was just like a really basic sort of thing, but since then I've bumped into a lot of really fascinating people, and yeah, I came in for the dice, and I stayed for the friends.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
That's such a wholesome. That's just like a sprinkle of wholesome.
Just a little sprinkle. What's your favorite games to play? Like, what do you play with all of these magical people?
Yeah, mostly it is still just Dungeons and Dragons when I play. Most of the campaigns and one-shots I'd be a part of. However, someone introduced me to a lovely game called Masks: The New Generation, which is a tabletop role-playing game that's focused mainly on being like young superheroes starting out in the world, and it's a lot more RP focused, and it's a lot more. I enjoy it. I enjoy the creativity that it flows. It's a lot less rules bound compared to other systems. But yeah, now I think Mask is becoming one of my favorite ones. Slowly.
Man, that person who introduced you to it must be really cool. Like, really. Oh no! Okay. Oh, I thought you were frozen again.
I probably will be. It's fine. Just
it's fine.
We can do a counter. How many times will Tim internet freeze because he's Australian?
No, it's once. It's gonna freeze once. You hear me? Just once. But
Take your bets, people. We don't support gambling, but I support competition.
That gives the same vibes of drive fast and take chances. It's the vibes you just get.
It works. It works.
It works.
Yeah.
But you play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. You've even hosted a really cool one-shot for me, which, you know, if you ever want to do that again, I'm game. But what inspired you? Like, you tell me about all these things that you make, create, plot. What inspired you to become a game master for Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, referring to my notes, the best description I can give is I have a habit of creating delusions of grandeur. It is the exact word that I put down. And I love the freedom that you get as a player to create your story, but I like going the extra mile when it comes to creativity sometimes. So I thought I'd sit down, see how I feel running a game and developing a story, developing a world that my players can create their own stories in. And I found that really just fun and kind of fulfilling. Just like, yeah, I made this, and you're enjoying this, hopefully. And we're just kind of building it up, and it's just fun. It's just like I put all the recipes down for a cake, and I come back with a souffle, and like the players come back with a souffle, and I'm like, I don't know how you did that, but it looks amazing. So
you're doing amazing, sweetie. That's what I heard.
Yes, we're doing amazing, sweeties.
And if I may go off question, because I sent him the questions ahead of time, everyone, just cause. But like, what has been your favorite part of these worlds that you've created?
Oh god, I don't have notes to refer to.
No. I ruined it.
Yeah. My favorite part of the worlds I've created, or how much my players can alter the history of the world that doesn't even exist. It's like, for example, in the most recent campaign that I run, my party may have completely destabilized an entire government.
Iconic.
And destroyed one of the largest trade routes in the nation. So we're working through that. We're working through that currently.
Working through that.
Like, they are the good guys, we think.
They might be. Who knows?
I don't know. I think two of them, like, two are neutral, one is evil, so they're good guys.
You make this world, they take it apart, but like, as you're making this world, I gotta tell y'all, he frequently sends me these terrifying creatures where I'm like, I don't want to fight that. How did you come up with that? Tell me, how do you go about creating them? Like, how?
A lot of movies and media nowadays, I tend to take a lot of inspiration from. But a lot of the creatures that I create are based on the storylines that they're set in. I like to do it that way because it makes it feel like the boss is part of the dungeon instead of something that was dropped in there. It feels a bit more natural, just like, okay, so if I create this, and how would have I adapted to this environment from there, and there. For example, the only creature that I have ever made that may have destroyed one of my players' characters because it was a little too intelligent, which was a large construct. It was basically a horrifying version of the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro, but it was a large construct. It was filled with magic, and I'm fairly sure it just saw a wizard and went nah and took it out almost instantly. That was fun. But of course, when I say that I've focused the boss on the dungeon, it's not always the case. everyone has a creature or player or character that sits there. It's like, no, you're going to be in my world no matter what. Like, you will be just wedged in there for like 3 seconds. You may not, players may see it and be like, don't care, move on. But I'm like, it existed in the world. There's always those cases.
It was the moment.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, it's an Easter egg.
Can I tell you something I do for one of my friends?
Yes.
Can I? She said that she really wanted, like, there was a picture of this person. I don't remember how it came to be, but it was a picture of a guy without a shirt, sweatpants, and wearing a medieval helmet. And she said...
Oh, I've seen that guy. I've seen like 5 of those guys on TikTok.
I haven't. But she was like, I demand that I really want him to be in any one-shot I play. And so I always find ways to put him in there.
There's always everyone loves a reoccurring character or monster. It's always fun to try and throw them in when you can. I don't think I have one yet, but I will find. I need to have a second campaign to actually have a reoccurring character in, but yes.
Yes, you do. You need to have a second campaign, and then you need to tell me all about it so I can live vicariously through you.
We can work on that.
Yes! Do it! Speaking of, it sounds like you are having challenges with squeezing them in. Well, not challenges, but this is me segueing perfectly into my next question. Can you? Don't laugh at me. I'm doing a great job, Tim. I'm doing a great job.
You're doing amazing, sweetie. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Can you discuss a specific challenge when you were designing things that you found yourself facing, and how did you fix it? How did you overcome it?
Yeah, okay. I say, like, when it comes to a lot of creative things, I'm really good. I'm not really good. I feel I am better when it comes to a lot of like the niche, small ideas. And so when I was initially building the world, I was looking at it and I'm like, how does this country run its government? Like, what does this make sense? And I found that kind of really confusing. So for context, in the world that I have, there's a region that is like only 40 years has about 40 years of independence.
Oh.
Coming out of a civil war. So like it's all tensions and an agreement and then trying to build a government from there. And I was staring at it and I'm like, how do I build a government that makes sense to the Civil War, feels like it actually could run the country, but also has so many plot holes that you can exploit because it's a brand new thing. I didn't want to take inspiration from real life politics, because who wants real life politics in a fantasy game?
Yeah.
But I was lucky in the regards that one of my players really liked the region and wanted to base his character off that space. And the backstory that he gave me, I looked at it, I'm like, I'm taking that part, I'm taking that part, I'm taking that part. It wasn't intentional or it wasn't focused on the government, but a lot of the plot points that he inputted were really good. I'm like, oh, that would make sense, and I can incorporate that into my system. It was definitely a DIY job made by someone who didn't understand what DIY means. I remember, I think it was the first time they came into that region, the government still didn't really exist. There was about 5 people. They had titles, and I didn't know what they did, but they had titles. And it was just as the players were talking to themselves, I was just slowly writing down what they said. I'm like, that is canon, that is not canon, that is canon now, that is not canon. And just, I'm like, you're now building the government for me. Which I think in the end was actually a really good way of doing it. Because the conversations that they make are made from the assumption that they lived in that world. So it's fun to hear what they theoretically would think about this government or that government, because it gives a good idea of how it actually would have run from that perspective. I think that's all my words. Do I have any more words? That's my words.
That's really cool. I like those words. They're very, because here's my bad DMing. I don't think about any of the governments and stuff when I'm planning stuff. Can I show you a plan, Tim? Can I show you a plan?
Oh god, yes.
What do you mean, oh god?
Yep.
This is your fault. You would know all of my up-to-date things if you were still on that one app. Do not judge me for my pajamas, okay? Yes, we're having an interview in pajamas. But do you see? Ta-da!
I'm not even that organized. Oh my god, that's brilliant. Like, I'm just like, I have like a OneNote with like 2 paragraphs, and most of the paragraphs are just describing what the buildings look like.
But none of that is government. Not
Love
one note. Which, I guess you could, this is me seamlessly segueing again. I guess you could give me advice on that, or anybody, like what advice would you have? Oh wait, I skipped a question. I'm not doing this seamlessly.
You
You
skipped a few questions, but we'll go back up and down. We'll go back up and down. We're picking and choosing.
We're bringing it back.
Circling back.
Circling back. Very seamlessly. What? Dang it. What elements do you consider most important when creating these stories, these compelling adventures? Because they are compelling. They are very compelling. Y'all, let me tell you about this one shot he did. You want to know the premise of it? Yes, you do. Hold on. I need to switch the screen for this because they got to see. Okay, so here's the thing. We were in a one shot. He ran the one shot. The premise was that we were all elderly in a retiring home. In a retirement home. And we had to face these big old celestials. And it was great. It was iconic. We were elderly and working it, and I got to ride on someone's head, and it was great.
You retrofitted the nurse, the Warforged nurse, Terrence.
I did.
I
love Terrence.
So his chest cavity was like his chest cavity was a seat. And then you tried to hook him up with a toaster. I
did hook him up with a toaster. You made that canon.
We did.
At the end.
We went on it. Terrence did actually accept to go on a date with a toaster.
But just that's how iconic. Like all of his work is iconic. If you go watch his storylines on TikTok, he has this one with the evil cleric. He has another one with my favorite half orc bard. He has Heartache with that. He has a whole lore of these patrons, and they're all brothers and they're all cool. He has a guy that's afraid of ghosts and can't drop his rose. It's just, it's all, and
here's the rose.
How you do that? What do you think is an important? Because all of your stories, one shots, the things very compelling. Like, I enjoy them. I still go back and watch them. And if you...
I do too.
Yes, iconic. What do you think is... Like, what do you consider? What's important when you're making all these stories?
I think it's mainly just its relevance to the audience. Be that if you're home brewing for like a social media account, or if you're just if you're a DM for your home game, it's a relevance to who you're working with, I guess. It takes some time, but you need to figure out kind of what the people enjoy, what you enjoy and how you can collaborate those two together to create a game. It's easy to get into the point of like, I have this story that I want to do, but if the players are staring at it and they're like, that sounds kind of dull, pushing it isn't always the best thing. Like, it's working with them to see like, oh, okay, they want to try this, and it doesn't mean that like you need to stop your ideas. We can tweak them, you can work them up. For example, Pastel Bard, the half-orc bard on TikTok, he was just literally, I think I made a shirt, and I'm like, you know what, I'll do a TikTok on this, and it was just a full ensemble of just pastel colors. And he was just supposed to be a bard that, like a bard that wasn't really romantic, was just kind of fun and joyful to be around. But as people started talking with him and talking about and like duetting videos, it showed that like, oh no, okay, he's someone who's caring, he's someone who's like, he might have a bit of a sadness behind him, and it's fine, but it's fine. So it was listening to the audience and the players that saw my content, and saw the campaign or the adventure that I was foretelling. It allowed me to adapt it in a way that both myself and the people would enjoy, or at least just get an emotional response out of, because that character did not have a very happy ending.
Excuse me, you said he got married. I thought he had another husband.
He did get remarried. There was a lot of trauma.
Yes, there's trauma, but no, do not take this away from me. Oliver had a very nice husband, and yes, he fought. How dare you? I was having a great day.
He had a Dungeons and Denture elderly fight, which was left for interpretation.
Which I interpret.
My
No.
Yeah, my interpretation. Yeah, my interpretation. Thank you to the duetting of some friends from that TikTok and from the collaboration that we had. Circling back, is that they worked together and he got to continue the life, because that's something that I wanted, but it was also something that showed that the people who were invested or interested in the thing wanted to engage with as well. And I'm like, yeah, I'll work with you. Like, I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to do it for the drama. I do that with other characters. So yeah, we embrace this. But no. So most important element is just relevance to your audience, I think. Just to circle back.
And any advice on that? Any advice to your fellow homebrewers?
Advice. To be wonderfully blunt, there is a very high chance that your first homebrew or your first game running will be horrible. Like, you will hate everything about it. You may think there's just like, oh, this didn't work, and the best thing, if you can, is to just own it, accept it. Like, you're learning a brand new thing, you're trying something completely different. It's lucky if you get it right or on the bat, but it's not always for everyone. So it's the TTRPG community is always about group collaboration, storytelling, helping each other out, trying to be a big wholesome collective. Yes. So you may feel like you're not doing well, and that's perfectly fine. It's a learning curve, but there's so many people and so much content out there that you can always reach out to someone to ask for help and ask for ideas. I did it before on Discord servers, where I'd be like, I have this idea. what do I do? And I got some really good feedback coming from. So it's always good to reach out, ask for ideas. If you have no idea, then bluff it. It's like bluff it, have fun with it. As for doing homebrew, from experience, going straight into crafting your completely brand new homebrew creature that is statted to the mile can feel daunting. I believe in a lot of the words. And a lot of the source books for TTRPG materials, they give you tips on how to alter it slightly and start the process of building up homebrew terms and procedures and stats mechanics. And it's a really good resource. I say this in hindsight because I did not do that. And I failed, and a couple of the first homebrew monsters, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, that one, like that hit, that took like all your damage, all your health, oops, and things like that. So, reach out to people for help, understand that it's not going to be perfect instantly, and if you can, or if you want to, start small. But that being said, given my title, Chaos in Progress, go ham, go wild. The game is fun when everyone is kind of the game can be fun if everyone's on their toes and you're all just kind of learning it along the way. The priority isn't really get the story done, it's have a laugh, have fun. I think if you focus on that first, it usually helps progresses a lot of your skills. I feel like I did like a loop-de-loop with that answer.
And it's great. It's the greatest loop ever. I love it. We love it. We do! How dare you?
We do.
I'm being honest. And also, when you said, oh, I accidentally took all your health, my brain went, oops, accidentally took all your health.
Just like one of those AI voices. It's like, oops, got your HP.
Oops.
It's fine. Oopses are fine.
There's one, I've got to
Oopses are
censor
created.
myself. My favorite audio. Oh, I wanted you to do it with Ballista so bad. But it was like this audio where it was like, oops, how can I censor myself? Got your women, except, not the appropriate one.
Yep.
Oh, is there nothing here? You got no...
You lonely. Yes, I've seen that one before. I love it.
I die every time.
Iconic behavior.
I feel like you've answered all of my next planned questions with your previous two questions. Because as you have my questions, you know my next one is, hey, how many times can I say questions? Anyway.
That, please count.
What?
Please count how many times we say questions.
No, don't! Please, no!
Start a stat list.
No!
How many times does Chaos in Progress freeze? How many times does brynniursa say questions? How many times do we both say circling back?
No! 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 That reminds me though. You know Megan? Yeah? Megan, you know her? Yeah? Are you frozen? Okay. We RP a lot, and their character Kenzo curses a lot. So there is a curse counter in one of the servers.
Love that. It's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Love that for
You know how much I'm fighting not to swear? Like, I'm Australian. It is part of our language. I'm just like, no, this is a public recording. I have to be civil.
This is a public recording. You have to be civil.
It's like, please, don't swear, Tim. I know you're Australian, but please.
Not here. Not on my Christian Minecraft channel.
Not on this Christian Minecraft server.
How
No.
do you, like, I really feel like you've answered these 3 questions already. Because the next 2 were, how do you create context that engages and immerses players in your world? And what role does player feedback play in your creative process? I feel like you've answered those. Just
We can go back on them again.
We can go back to them? We'll tell
We can go back. No, we can go back on them. Creating content that engages, it's really just listening to your players. It's understanding what they want out of the game, and that's done through either like your session 0 when they're building characters, or looking at their backstory, or even just listening back as you're trying to take notes and they're doing their own little RP between role playing between themselves. It, like, a lot of the time it is just nonsense, but the nonsense gives you clues on what they enjoy and what they have fun with. So it gives you an idea to how to like sculpt the game for future and what they enjoy. It also depends on how you play as well. Like, so the campaign I run is done online on a Thursday night, or Wednesday morning for Americans. No, Thursday morning. It's a morning. I don't know anymore.
I don't know anymore either.
Yeah.
Now you know what
Time
I look like
weird.
when I'm thinking.
Yeah, time is weird. No, so we played a game, and the game only runs for 2 hours long. That's because I need a nap. So I tend to avoid puzzles because most of them work pretty grueling jobs, and they're mentally drained by the end of it. So they don't always like puzzles, like intricate puzzles or riddles, because their brain capacity just isn't allowing them for it, and it kind of minimizes the interest in the game. However, they love strategy and think they love strategy as a different part of their brain for it. So I like trying to do like comprehensive battle scenes, or just like weird and wacky roleplay that allows them to kind of talk out of situations. They never talk, but talk out of situations and see how they adapt. So it's a give and take when it comes to it. It's as I said, like, you might not get it outright, but you'll learn what your players enjoy and what you enjoy doing. And I think it's said a lot in the TTRPG community, you won't like every table, because every table has different goals and aspirations and game styles. So it's important for the DM to try and cater for them, but they also understand that the limitations on some aspects that they don't particularly know how to control. They don't know how to run as well. So it's a give and take, and just biggest key is just listening and looking at the backstories and looking at how they want to be a part of the world. As for feedback, it's probably like an 87% of an important part of a feedback process, especially when you start the game, because as I said, you understand what their limitations are, you understand what they're interested in and what they aren't, and it helps kind of stop the game, or it makes the game more immersive for them. I will say, when I first started DMing, I was one of those railroad DMings where, like, I want my story and I want it, and it learned probably about 30 minutes into that, I'm like, this is so boring. Like, I'm just forcing them to go places. I'm like, I need to give them more creativity. So it's good to chat with them after the session and see how it goes and see what they think. But on top of that, understanding what the characters like and what the players like, it's also good to understand what their communication styles are. when it comes to getting feedback, because a player can give feedback and they mean nothing behind it because they just wanted to say something and get it out. When it comes to getting feedback, it's understanding what environment they feel comfortable in to provide the feedback. They may not want to do it immediately. They may just want to sleep on it and give you an answer the day after. But it's always good to try and chase up if you can, but do so in a way that makes them feel comfortable in the makes them feel comfortable and safe in expressing the statement. Especially if they might have some negative feedback that they want to pass on. Or no, not negative, but constructive feedback that they want to pass on. Yeah. I think those are my words.
They're fabulous. Hear ye, hear ye. Hold up, this is beautiful. So I'm gonna Tim's words. There we go. They're there. Oh no, you're frozen. Oh no, you're not. Okay.
I'm just.
There you go. See, they're your words. They're beautiful. They're here. Tim's words. They're
on the whiteboard.
They're on the whiteboard.
They're real.
They're here
Pages
helping
now.
me count my meteor strike. Or that's not it. No.
Yep, that sounds about right. That tracks.
Because you know that you have 10 of them. Oh, you know what I was doing? I was tracking enlarge and blinked on this. Because I had enlarged someone, and then I had cast blink on myself, and I was being a menace. Anyway.
We love that. We love that for you.
But your words are wonderful. And
Thank you.
memorable.
I have.
So...
Segway!
That was very clever, Tim.
It was very clever. I loved it. I liked it.
Can you share a memorable player interaction or feedback that influenced your work? Which again, tell me another.
Okay. Well, yeah. This is actually probably the most entertaining one that I've had in my life. So this is my main campaign that I run. I had a message, I think it was like at 8 p.m. at night on like a Tuesday, and he just messaged me a link onto a website, and I'm just like, okay. And it was his own home-brewed weapon that he wanted for his character. And the weapon was a shoulder cannon to attach to his Warforged Artificer. Which, it is amazing, but it's terrifying because in real life this man is an engineer. So when I say that this shoulder cannon's features it had more tricks than a deck of cards. There were so many things you could do with this cannon, and I was just staring at it and I'm like, what? I was so confused, but I was also like, this is amazing. Because for one, it showed that he really loved his character and he wanted to put some effort into it. And two, he kind of, it made me feel like he was invested in the game as well, because he wanted to build upon his character in this world and enhance things. But it set off a really fun chain reaction, because as the game progressed, every character started to get their own signature weapons, and like homebrewed signature weapons. So the first one was a shoulder cannon. Next off, we gave our barbarian a great sword that could
Could it tear through dimensions? No.
No, not yet. But it could not. Maybe. It was made from interdimensional materials, so yes. But it's a barbarian greatsword he can actually throw force damage with it. It's fun. I think we called it I think we called it the Shimmering Comet.
The Shimmering Comet.
Yeah, because the way it looks like it's a black steel sword, but there's like crystal gems imbued to it, so it's sparkling. So the blade itself is like sparkling, and the sparkles are like a homebrew element that I created. which is just like a spellcasting focus thing. It's fun. And then the third one, which was we gave to our ranger, we gave him a magical rifle, I believe, that had like a few spells in it. And he loves that thing. Like he got the rifle, and then his character instantly decided that he's now wearing colonial wear, and is walking around like he's like in like the pantaloons and the waistcoat, like going off to war. And I'm like, where did you get this outfit? You're in the woods. But it is canon now. He now has pantaloons.
Yes.
But yeah, so it was really fun. Just like it started off that chain reaction of everyone kind of looking into what they're kind of like and what they're interested in, and working with me to kind of figure out like, oh, okay, we like this. And so I introduced them to a few weapons, and then they took what they liked. It was fun. So I think that was probably the most memorable interaction. They were just like, they're just like, here's a homebrew weapon. And I'm like, okay, everyone gets homebrew weapons.
You get a homebrew weapon. And you get a homebrew weapon.
Of course, it has led to my demise with the ranger has an overpowered rifle, as long as a series of feats, so that he could have, I think it's the minimum amount of damage he can deal in one hit is about 30 points. That's the minimum amount of damage.
We love this.
The barbarian has flying shoes, so he can they can just fly everywhere, attack, and they have feats to increase their damage. And then the artificer has an AC at 22.
I want to send you Rhiannon's sheet, and I want you to have your players fight her.
Possibly, we can work on that.
That's what I'm like.
They are level
that
12, so
sounds
yes.
Fun. That sounds fun.
It should be fun. I think that I actually am currently prepping for them to do a siege on a castle. And I gave them, actually, no, this is a homebrew thing that I gave them that I made up on the fly, and I heavily regret doing this. Because, what happened? Did the cat do? What did the cat do?
That's the trouble.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did he go? My fear is that he will jump onto that computer and turn it off. That is my fear.
Nah, fair. But so one of the homebrew things that the players really latched onto in the most recent kind of sessions was I gave them a seed, like a seed packet, where if they plant it, it will spawn a tree ant. It'll spawn a tree ant that they can use as a mount, because they wanted to find a catapult, and the only person they could ask was a druid. So I'm like, there's no catapults, but I can give you a tree ant to toss things. And so now they're going to have a pet tree ant. So I'm going to have to deal with that. I need to start that up still.
Yes, you do. You do.
That's my homework that's my homework for the break.
But would you
if anyone has ideas, let me know. Collaboration.
Stop collaborating. I'm like, I'm just imagining. I don't know what I'm imagining. It's just I'm gonna be thinking about that for 2 days. Will I have a solution for you? No. But will I be thinking about it? Yes.
That's all we need in life.
But that sounds like fun. But is it your all-time favorite, Tim? What is your all-time favorite TTRPG I said it right. TTRPG campaign or adventure, and why?
I would say it wasn't the campaign, but it is the story of one of my characters that has spanned across 3 different campaigns. Which ironically, every time they've come back in a new campaign, they've leveled up. So thematically, they could have just gone to all 3. They could have been in all 3 at the same time. But it is the story of my Dragonborn druid, who started off as a level 3 little druid, just trying to help people, trying to support everyone, being a healer and things like that. But getting an interest into like plants and potions and developing sort of things to help people. That campaign retired. Onto the next campaign, I brought back the character again. He was a little bit higher level. There was a bit more he was a bit more support, but also like artillery focused. So he had a lot of AoE abilities, and the dabbling into plants and potions and things like that has got to the size that he now has a terrarium on his size that grows into a greenhouse, so that he can just have plants on him at all times.
Yes.
But the thing was that thing also radicalized him to become potentially an eco warrior. It's fine. And then that campaign retired. And now he is currently in a campaign. They are level 11, 10 or 11. So wait, why is someone here? Oh my god, someone is here.
Someone's here? Oh.
Nope, that can be ignored. I will ignore that. Yeah, now, so currently, in game, this character has been with this party for 3 hours, and in the past 3 hours, the character has fought an aboleth, used none of its healing spells, even though it's a support class, and witnessed one of the other party members become a god, and now is currently in the issues of, is he becoming the land's hero or the land's villain? And I'm kind of hoping it's a villain, because I want to stat up the monster.
Yes.
So I think that's probably the most memorable favorite thing that popped up so far.
But is that your favorite creation? What is your favorite creation, Tim?
My favorite creation, and brynniursa has heard much of this. It is my structure, which I call the monolith. Which is my interpretation of how can I introduce into a high fantasy world a spaceship. And this was before Spelljammer and things like this came into the world. This was me like, what can I do? I'm like, I want a Star Destroyer in there, and so I put in an entire spaceship that lives in this world now, and it was so fun. I spent like a full day developing like the entire system on like, how does it fly? What does it do? Why is it there? And I'm like, and like the interior is built to survive, like to keep a civilization alive, because it's supposed to be like a giant city that floats throughout dimensions. I'm just like, this is brilliant, and I got very into it, and my players found it, and they're like, we want it now, and I'm like, you can't have it. Like, there's 3 of you. This thing is supposed to fit 3,000 people. You can't have it.
It's mine.
It's like unless you want to build an entire crew, no. We're working on that. We'll work on that one later. But I think that one was probably that's my favorite creation.
What about your favorite character or moment from your own experiences?
Okay. Okay. So I have joined a community D&D program recently, and met some. Yeah, I'm actually DMing in it too.
Yay!
But so I joined the community program, and one day, I think we were like 6 or 7 hours into the session, we just came out of like a really big battle, and one of the characters did like really poorly in this battle, and so 2 of the players and characters kind of got together and just had this conversation in character, and me and the DM, who was still there, were just staring in awe, because I swear to this day it was a scripted conversation. Like, it was the emotion behind the words, the timing, and the back and forth and that they did. It was a solid 10 minutes of conversations, and I was just like, it was like a clip out of Shakespeare. And like we're just standing there, we're just like, what the heck? And by the end of it, me and the DM literally just stood up and started clapping. We're just like, where did that come from? That is amazing. And it was phenomenal. I think that was my favorite play, and it's just stuck in my brain, and it will stay there.
It sounds so nice.
It was so good.
I love moments like that where just characters connect and interact, and it's just like you really are sitting there watching a show. And you're like, oh,
It was just like, oh my god, I need to hear everything. And it was really funny because before that, I was having a conversation with one of the people, and like instead of like the Shakespearean like life, death, sadness, like trying to fight this world, I was just like, you're a loser. Accept that you're a loser and be a good one. And it was like supposed to be motivational, and it's like, I think I know what you mean. Let's stop saying loser, but I'm like, that's the only word I got at the moment. And so it was just the dynamic between the two.
This is what I have. Take it or leave it. But take it, because I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
Just kidding off.
Yeah. And in that campaign as well, I have a familiar who is a crab named Dimitri, but everyone on the table has named the crab a different name starting with D. So we got Dimitri, we got Dracula, I think there's a Django, and it's just everyone has a different name for the crab. And I think like that's fun.
That is fun. Oh no. Well, you have shared a lot this evening. You've shared strategies, you've shared how you overcame things, you've shared inspiration, motivation, favorites. Is there a question you wish I had asked you, or something you'd like to share?
A question that popped up potentially is, what was the first homebrew item that may have popped up? Things. Because I think the first one is always the funnest for anyone to make it, because there's so much investment in it. It's brilliant. For me, I called it a blood ring, which was for a spellcaster. They could sacrifice hit die to get spell slots back, or sacrifice spell slots to get health back. And it was mainly for like a sorcerer or a wizard. Because it was a very big sacrifice on health and HP, and we gave it to one person and it turned them into a tank. It was actually really cool.
That sounds cool. I hear that. This is what I'm talking about. Like this man is a menace, and I want everything that he creates. I want that blood ring.
Speaking, I have the stats for it. I can send it off.
Yes.
But speaking of share, so for one of the one shots that I am making, I have written down the intro for the one shot, if you would like to hear it.
I would like to hear it. I would very much like to hear it.
Yeah.
Please.
I would ask the chat to hear this to if they want to hear it, but
do you want me to stream?
So.
Do you want me?
It's pre-recorded.
I will hit this start streaming button, and we will have a chat. Do you want me to do that? No? Are you sure?
I think we're good.
Okay,
I think we're good.
All right.
No. If you don't want to listen to the preamble of this one shot, it takes about 2 minutes.
Let me hear it.
Okay. Cool. Words. Our story begins in the commerce district of Baxter Run, the shining capital of the nation. Situated near the docks, it gives Situated near the southern docks, it gives unobstructed views of Crystalia Bay to the east. Its water so pure, the light it reflects resembles cascading diamonds. It's well after sunset, but the streets and water glow amber, giving off a warm light that embraces you. The smell of ash as the fires roar in nearby homesteads fill your nose, with hints of leftover dinner burning in the coals. Looking up in the sky, a storm is rushing in. Lightning fills the clouds, creating a beautiful, if maybe frightening display. Everything feels peaceful, calm, perfect for a night stroll. That is until the spell wears off. For as the realization hits, the fire has consumed the homestead, the ash is choking your lungs, and the storm is nothing close to a natural occurrence, but a fierce battle between the heroes of the realm and the cult of the warden. As the last of the spell dissipates...
What? What?
As the last of the spell dissipates, you see the caster smirk, looking confident that the battle is nearly over. As they pull their wand back to unleash a torrent of arcane energy, a high-pitched whistle grows louder as falling debris collapses the building behind them, setting off an explosion that thrusts all of you back. Can everyone please roll a dex save, and as you are flying through the air, please describe your characters.
Chaos in progress! There you go! I heard that! Cult of the Warden, you say? Cult of the Warden, you say? Timba!
I needed an enemy name, and look, we do it enough. So that is the intro to one of my one-shots that I'm currently drafting, that I'm going to be hopefully doing at our community program, which is the theory of the heroes of the realm are fighting the big bad of society, but what is everyone else doing in the city? And this story follows the low-level adventurers just trying to help out the city, while the big battle is is happening in the sky.
Oh, I love that. I like that a lot. I love how you knew exactly what I was gonna do and you raised your finger.
Like, nope. Let me finish the preamble and then we're good. But that is one of the one-shots that I am currently drafting.
And do y'all see what I mean, everybody? Do y'all see what I mean? It's so good. I just want to play.
I give brynniursa no peace. I apologize.
Really, he does not. Not even an ounce. Not even a smidgen. Like, literally. I know that this is a lie, and I know it. Like this. No.
But yeah, so B.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and answering my questions and being a vibe.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh.
We are the vibe.
We are the vibe. We vibin'.
We vibin'. But yes, thank you so much for having me. It was very fun.
It was so fun hearing all these things too. I'm so happy. I've learned a lot. Thank you for sharing.
And I would like to put an ending disclaimer. I do a lot of homebrew. I do DM a bit, but expert is a very...
I am the number one authority on declaring experts and icons, and I say you are an expert. Because it's not like you are... Like, even just with that statement, I think that shows how experienced you are. And some of the earlier questions, when you were just like, you know what, here's the true tea. Sometimes you gotta ask for help. Sometimes you gotta get feedback from people.
The true tea.
The true tea. That you're I think I've told you I admire that cup before. But your cup also reminds me of when the Queen in Snow White dips the apple into the cauldron and it comes out that green color. Yeah?
Yeah.
It reminds me. But anyway, the tea is that you're an expert in homebrew.
The poison cup, the new homebrew item. Anything that you pour in here will become poison.
Anything. We pour goat milk. I don't know why, but that's what we do. But
if you become attuned to this item, you are immune to the poison in this cup. So you can pretend that it is no poison. and then
No,
you
but
feed
why
it
is
to
that
someone else.
good? Why is that good? I also need that. Send me the stats on that. I need the blood ring. I need the poison cup.
I
'cause
just
you don't
made that
understand.
up like 3 seconds ago.
No, I need the stats now, Tim. I need the stats now. Because you know what? Okay, I play a necromancer, okay? Literally, she likes to poison people.
Well, now you have a poison teacup.
That's exactly. I need a poison teacup. I need the poison teacup, Tim. I need it.
Or you could do the opposite of like the assassin's teapot in like the historical assassin's teapot. Have you heard of that?
No.
So it's an invention called the it's the assassin's teapot where it actually has two compartments. So one is filled with the poison, one is filled with regular drink, and depending on how you hold it, you block off one of the compartments to make it look like you're pouring the same drink in every single cup. Whereas in fact, you actually know that one is filled with poison and one isn't. So you can give the illusion that you're all drinking from the same cup.
I love this so much. So much. I love it.
But you don't even need a magic item. You can just make it in real life. You can make. Well, no, don't make it in real life. No. No, I don't condone this.
Chaos. Oh no, I've been saying your name this whole time. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Hi, my name is Tim. I am Chaos in Progress.
You're Chaos in Progress. Well, I have said Chaos in Progress. I started with it, and then you would make me go, ah! And then I would call you Tim. So.
Yeah. Oh well,
Okay.
I think my name's on my profile anyhow, so it's fine.
I think it is too. Yeah,
If
it is.
it's not, it's connected to my Instagram, which has my real name, but it's fine. Don't follow me on Instagram. There's nothing D&D related.
Or do. I don't know. You could. See a new side. I don't know. What? We sent each other pictures on there. Capybara.
Capybara. Oh my god, I'm Chaos and Capybara. Capybara and Chaos.
Capybara and Chaos. Thank you for being on here. I'm proposing for real this time. Hope that whoever watches this, I hope you enjoyed learning all about homebrew and Chaos in Progress. You should go check him out. He's not, his profile says no longer active, but they're still there and you can enjoy his stuff. Unless you don't, I don't know.
No. Feel free to follow. Feel free to have a look at my stuff. Yeah, I've moved on from TikTok just because of work life things, but the videos are still there for you to enjoy and take inspiration from if you like to look at dramatic storylines from person who is apparently spending his every waking moment terrorizing brynniursa.
You know it's true. You know it's true.
It is true. It is true. If you need inspiration on how to emotionally manipulate your players, apparently my characters are good for that.
Okay, I thought you were about to send hordes of people after me. I was like, no, do not.
No.
On that,
Don't
I
go
was
after
like,
brynniursa. They're amazing. Go after me. I'm not on TikTok, so you can go wild. Go ham.
But thank you again, and thank you, viewer, and I hope you had a good time joining us Rolling Insight, exploring the TTRPG universe. Bye!
See ya.